thing that was on the poll the other day was quick and easy meals, and this is one meal that I absolutely love. I grew up doing obviously a ground beef version of this. This is a shepherd's pie, and instead of using ground beef, we're going to be using mushrooms. Here's a little trick on how to make mushrooms taste more beefy. I love using liquid smoke in my mushrooms. You want to be careful with it though, because it's very potent. So you want maybe like a teaspoon, maybe two. And then Worcestershire sauce, okay? Put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the pan. Chop up your mushrooms really fine because you really want that ground beef texture. And then you add in some liquid smoke and some Worcestershire salt and pepper, and you're good to go. It's awesome. So I've got all of my vegetables cut up and everything. One of the most important things that they're teaching me in this Forks Over Knives course is to make sure and have everything ready to go before you start cooking. And if that means for some people cutting up your vegetables the night before, then by all means, grab a glass of wine, cut up all your vegetables for your dinner the next night, put them in little containers and put them in the fridge. It makes it go by so much easier. It really does. Or if you're like me, I will sit there and just kind of throughout the day, I'll start cutting up a vegetable here and there because I have a hard time cutting up vegetables altogether. My arms, as I said before, are kind of weak and everything, and I can do it. It takes a lot out of me to do something like that. So here we go. We got our beautiful mushrooms here. They're nice and chopped up very fine. Hey Erin, how's it going, girl? I miss you. I miss your face. Alright, so we've got our pan going on high, medium-high heat. I'm going to add some more olive oil here. And we're going to put in our chopped onion. You want to make sure it's a really nice hot pan because, as I said before in one of my other videos, brown food tastes good. You want it nice and brown. And if your pan is not hot, you're not going to get that really good caramelization on the onion that you're looking for. You want to make sure that for this recipe in particular, you do your mushrooms first because you don't want that liquid smoke getting into all the other vegetables and everything. You want it specifically in your mushrooms, okay? Also, it helps wilt them down, and it's kind of like I said, we're using it as a ground beef. Usually whenever you're doing a shepherd's pie, you'll sit there and do your ground beef first, and then take it out of the pan and do your other vegetables and your stock and everything. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. I've already done the mushrooms. They're setting aside. I got my onions in here. And I have my holy trinity, which is basically onions, carrots, and celery. Usually for a shepherd's pie, you're going to do like a frozen corn, frozen peas, or anything like that. I have so much zucchini right now, I don't even know what to do with it. Our Bountiful Baskets had like 6 zucchini, and some of them were, you know, small, some of them were a little bit bigger, which, you know, I'm going to post later next week a awesome chocolate zucchini bread that I do for the kids. So while that's going, we've got our, I'm going to point out a few other things real quick. Tomato paste is a big flavor inducer, all right? Also, one of the other things that I'm going to be putting in there is roasted red bell peppers. This adds so much flavor to any dish. My husband does not like Alfredo sauce. He hates it. And it's my favorite. I absolutely love a really good, you know, Alfredo. Especially with linguine, put some mushrooms in there, some spinach and everything. It's absolutely divine, but he hates it. So what I'll do with my Alfredo is I'll add in like maybe 2 or 3 red peppers with my onions as they're caramelizing, and it adds that depth of flavor, and my husband absolutely loves Alfredo now, so I've converted him. Alright, so the onions have kind of started caramelizing. You know whenever they start turning more of a brownish color, this is kind of what you're looking for. Little bit of a caramelization, not too much, because they're going to continue cooking and you don't want them to completely disappear. We're going to add in our garlic, because I'm a big garlic lover. You don't have to add in as much garlic as I do, but I do a good tablespoon, you know. And we're going to let that go around a little bit. I am a huge fan of Rachel Ray right now because she's always doing that one pan, one 30-minute meal type of thing. And this is a definite shout out to Rachel Ray right now because I am not going to be transferring any of this to another pan because A, I hate dishes. Can I get an amen? I hate dishes. I really do. Of course, that's what I have my husband for, and my kids to do dishes for me, hopefully. If not, then it'll probably sit there in the morning, till in the morning whenever I can do them. Now this is a vegan meal, which means that there's going to be no cheese in this. You are more than welcome to add cheese if you want to the potatoes, or just have it on top, or whatever you want. But this is a completely vegan meal, which means we're not going to be using any kind of cheese whatsoever. In the potatoes, I just did some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and I did a little bit of veggie stock to moisten it up a little bit. And I'm using a red potato, actually, because there is a lot of vitamin A and vitamin C in red potatoes. Mostly in the skins, though, and the skins are very tender and very easy to eat and very easy to digest as well. Plus, it gives it an extra color pop on top and everything. So I kept the skins on. I just chopped them up, put them in the water, drained it in and everything, put the salt and pepper, olive oil, and the veggie broth, and I blended it up really, really good. And this is that. Hi, Mama. I love you. I know you remember me doing shepherd's pie whenever I was growing up, even as a kid. I loved doing it. Hi, baby. You want to say hi to Grandma? Look. Say hi. Okay, fine. Never mind. She doesn't love you. I'm kidding. All right, so now that we've got our onions going and our celery, we're going to add our carrots. Zucchini, you want to make sure that you add last because it is going to, when zucchini cooks, it kind of shrinks down. It's kind of like a spinach, and it becomes very moist and very almost gelatinous and everything. Hi, Laura, I love you. So you don't want to add your zucchini until the very last second, all right? And again, you can use whatever kind of vegetables you have in the fridge. The main important thing is that you have, in a shepherd's pie, you have an onion, you have garlic, celery, and carrot. That is your basic, that is your Holy Trinity right there. And I say that not because I'm a Christian, but that's actually what they call it in cooking, is the Holy Trinity. Your onion, your celery, and your carrot. That's your base to any kind of soup, any kind of veggie broth, anything like that. That is your basic go-to. All right? So we're letting that cook down. We are going to add our tomato paste, which again is going to give us a lot of depth and flavor. About a tablespoon worth. I have in my little awesome, I don't know if you can see or not, but I've got some sage, I've got some rosemary, and some thyme in here for my, my little herb garden right there. Also, another thing we're going to be adding into this is Dijon mustard. Again, has a lot of pop of flavor. Some red wine vinegar, because you want a little bit of that acidity going and everything. I'm going to pop open this can of red bell peppers. And sometimes you're going to get the red bell peppers that are kind of in slithers. They're like already julienned up and everything, which is what I love. And sometimes you'll get the red bell peppers that aren't cut up at all. They're like a whole red bell pepper, which is fine. You can do either one. I like this kind though because it's already pre-chopped for me, and I don't have to do much more chopping after that. So we're just going to chop it up just a little bit. And again, this is just going to give it so much more flavor and depth to the dish. And I absolutely love red bell peppers, adding them. You can toss them in a salad, by the way, too, if you want. They're really good in an awesome salad, just to give it some more flavor. If you're doing kind of an Italian salad, you could pop in some Kalamata olives. Some goat cheese is amazing on salads. One of my favorite salads is, right now, a goat cheese and beet salad. I am not, okay, I gotta tell you this. I am not a big fan of beets. My mom used to pickle them on the stove, and they stunk, and it was nasty and absolutely gross, and I hated them growing up, and she made some kind of beet stew or something, I think. I can't remember what it was. You'll have to let me know, Mom, what that was. But yeah, I hated beets growing up. I hate it, and I'm not a picky eater. I really am not. I will eat anything in front of me as long as it tastes good, you know? But beets, that just put a really bad flavor in my mouth. And asparagus, by the way. I hated asparagus growing up too, but I would eat it, you know, all the same. So I tried a beet salad one time. My husband ordered it, and he was like, oh yeah, this is like really good. And I'm like, yeah, well, you like it because it's beets. And I tried it, and I loved it. It was awesome. I was like, where have you been all my life? What is this? So we're going to add about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, by the way, and some red wine vinegar, just to give it some more flavor, some more depth. We're all about adding more flavor as much as we possibly can to this dish alone. And I'm going to give you, oh my gosh, if there was such thing as smell-o-vision, like Rachel Ray says in her cooking shows all the time, oh my gosh, if I could tell you what it smelled like right now. It's absolutely amazing. This is a quick and easy, like I said, 30-minute meal, not even. If you count it, you know, how long it took me to chop up everything, then sure. It's about a 30-minute meal. This is what you want it to look like. It's awesome and amazing, and I'm so excited. Also kid-friendly because there's mashed potatoes and stuff. They are wild over the shepherd's pie. My boys will sit there and eat like 2 whole huge scoopfuls of this. I've also got my oven on 350 because as soon as the potatoes get on top of this, we are going to pop it in the oven and let it go for about 15-20 minutes, and then dinner's going to be ready basically. So once we've got all that in there, I've got about 1/4 cup of flour. You can use, if you need a gluten-free option, you're welcome to use arrowroot. Just make sure you look on the back of the package and make sure that you're putting the right amounts in and everything. Also, Googling is awesome. I love Googling things whenever I don't know what to do with them. So we're going to let that flour kind of cook down. And the reason being for cooking down the flour, you want to make sure that it is going to activate, A, and B, you want to make sure that you're not getting that really raw flour kind of taste. And if you've ever had shepherd's, if you've ever tasted that raw flour from a cooked, say, chicken pot pie or something, it kind of has that chalky taste to it. That's when you know that you didn't, you know, cook down the flour well enough. You want to make sure that it's nice and cooked down. It's activating, you know, the gel and everything in the flour to make it more of a thicker sauce. All right, so we're going to add in our zucchini now. And again, you can use any vegetable you want. You can use frozen corn, frozen peas if you don't feel like chopping up, you know, other things. That's fine. Like I said, I have a ton of zucchini, so we're doing zucchini today. And oh my gosh, guys, this is smelling so good. So good. When you're vegan and you get excited about vegetables. Okay. So, once that is all ready and set to go, we want to make sure and put some more salt on top, okay? Seasoning is the key to eating healthy. If it isn't seasoned well, then it's not going to taste good. You're not going to want to eat it. we go. Once that's all cooked together and everything, which by the way, it does not have to be all the way cooked for this recipe, okay? It does not have to be cooked all the way for this recipe because most of the cooking is going to happen in the oven, all right? There goes our mushrooms, our lovely little mushrooms with the liquid smoke in it. I am telling you, that liquid smoke is a game changer. There goes most of my vegetables overboard. I am a messy cook, by the way. You can ask anyone, my husband, my mom, my dad. They love it when I cook, but they hate the mess that comes with it because I'm very messy whenever it comes to cooking, okay? I really am. But that's what makes it so fun. So, here's our potatoes. Whoops. And all we're going to do after this, we're just going to kind of smooth it around. Kind of make it look a little flat because we want all those yummy potatoes on top and everything. Alright, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what it looks like on the inside. Just like that. Sorry, real quick, before we do that, we are going to add a cup, maybe two, of that yummy vegetable broth. And there we go. That's what's going to make our wonderful gravy. That gravy's going to be amazing. I seriously wish I could invite all of you over for dinner right now, because this is going to be so good. I'm thoroughly excited right now. Nothing better than a good old-fashioned shepherd's pie. All you're going to do is just put all those yummy potatoes on top. Just like that. And I actually, I know I normally don't like using extra tools and everything because I like to use as less dishes as possible. But using a spatula to kind of smear that potato around a little bit on top really does help. If you try to use a wooden spoon, it kind of gets stuck on the potato and, you know, it gets a little bit messy. You really want to cover it kind of like a crust and everything on top. And that, my friends, is an awesome looking shepherd's pie. All right, one last look. Into the oven it goes. This is, by the way, a Pampered Chef pan. I'm not promoting it or anything. I'm just saying that Pampered Chef is awesome and I love it. My friend Ashley is selling it right now. And we're just going to pop this in the oven because I can. It's an oven safe. Make sure it is an oven safe pan before you put it in the oven. I have done that before and my pan completely, the handle broke off, so you don't want to do that. Make sure it's an oven safe pan that you can just pop in the oven. I love you guys. I love you, Mama. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I'll post the recipe online later. Thank you.